We want to get you the latest on what former President Donald Trump is up to. He's currently campaigning in Charlotte, North Carolina. This was Trump's first campaign since President Biden announced he's dropping out of the race. The former president launched several attacks on his presumptive opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, saying she, quote, can't be trusted and is unfit to lead. Trump also spent a large portion of this rally discussing the attempted assassination attempt against him, which was nearly 2 weeks ago now. For more on all of this, let's bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion. You see her there at the Trump rally in Charlotte. Nikole, how is former President Trump changing his messaging now that the Democratic ticket is changing?
Yeah, well, Errol, you can probably see that the former president is still talking behind me. He's been speaking for well over an hour, at times kind of hearkening back to some of the themes and lines that we heard from his speech in the Republican National Convention just last week. But to your point, he really is making that pivot to take on Vice President Kamala Harris, and she is the likely Democratic nominee. He has issued a litany of attacks against the vice president, as you mentioned, saying that she is unfit for office, at one point referencing her as a lunatic, oftentimes mispronouncing her name. He says that he believes that she is not tough on crime. He has said that she is a border czar, which is a line of attack that we have heard from Republicans criticizing her role in terms of the border and immigration policy. And most notably, he's really tried to paint her to the left of President Joe Biden, suggesting that she is a radical liberal, more liberal than the president is, and suggesting that her form of, quote, California socialism will destroy the country. So that's just a preview of some of the lines of attack that are likely to come from the former president, as we have just about 100 days left in this campaign.
And Nikole, it's interesting because, I mean, it's remarkable that it's been nearly 2 weeks since Trump was shot at his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. There was an expectation that perhaps his tone would change. We heard him allude to unity at the Republican National Convention and then go right back to his common talking points. But one thing that has changed, we understand, is security around his campaign events. From your view, how has the security posture adjusted since then?
Yeah, well, it still remains a concern, I will say. In talking to a lot of rally goers, they say that they do feel safe in spite of what happened 2 weeks ago in Butler, Pennsylvania. But as you can see, we're inside an arena here in Charlotte and not outside. So the campaign indicated that they at some point intend or hope to get back to having outdoor rallies, but certainly that requires a different security posture. But even just looking at him tonight, I mean, I can count more than a half a dozen Secret Service agents kind of surrounding the stage as he is speaking now. And the president, interestingly, former president, we were kind of squinting to see if the bandage was removed off of his ear since that rally. Of course, you remember that he had the big white bandage and dressing for number of days, including at the Republican National Convention. But now it appears he just has a very small flesh-tone bandage on his ear. So that is something notable, or something noticed that we saw. Also, the former president really taking a lot of time when he took a break from speaking about the vice president to talk about what happened that day and the fact that, you know, the crowd, in his view, really stood by him. He talked about the fact that when people hear gunshots, normally they run, but people stood and stayed and made sure that he was okay. He joked a little bit about the incident, as much as you could joke about, you know, a near-death experience. But, you know, of course, we heard that hot mic at the time that the shooting happened, where, you know, he was covered by Secret Service agents, and, you know, he said, "Where are my shoes? Where are my shoes?" So he kind of joked, you know, yeah, those shots and them pouncing on me knocked me out of my shoes. So he did try to have a bit of levity out of that moment, as serious as it was, but certainly something still weighing heavily on the president and the former president as he discussed that account here at tonight's rally.
And I guess that also speaks to the ways in which Trump enjoys telling good stories to a crowd that listens. At the RNC, he said he would tell the story once, so he doesn't have to tell it again. But certainly it is remarkable, and I know everyone in that room certainly thankful, all of us, that he survived. And so it's understandable why he would share it again. Nikole Killion, we appreciate you reporting on this for us there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you.